Hi everyone, welcome to today's session that is on variables and naming rules. Now in this video, you're going to learn how to create variables in Python, the naming convention every Python developer follows, the words you are not allowed to use as variable names, and one of the Python's most distinctive features called dynamic typing, which you are going to see in action with live code. So by the end of this video, you will be able to confidently create and name your own variables. So let's get into it. So the first topic is about variable assignment. So this is the basics that we're going to start with. So tell me, what do you think, or what is a variable from your point, and how do you create one in Python? Think about it. Think about it. Okay. Okay. Over here, a variable is just a name that points to a piece of data that points to a piece of data stored in your computer's memory. Now, instead of remembering the value is sitting at this exact memory location, you give it a name and Python handles the rest. Creating a variable in Python is done with a single equal sign. With a single equal sign. That is called the assignment operator. That is called the assignment operator. Okay, Zend, this is str, this is float, this is bool. Okay, let's write some real code. Let's write some real code over here. Let's create a file known as variables underscore demo dot py. Now here I'll put age is equal to 25, name equals to suppose Alex, price equals to 19.99, is underscore student. True. That is boolean. Boolean. Okay. Now let me walk through each line. Now over here, age is equal to 25. Let me come over here. Okay. Now over here, yeah, age is equal to 25. Now this creates a variable called age and assign it to the value 25. Okay. Now comes the next. Okay, I think there's a problem. Wait. Okay. This would be better. Okay, now comes the name is equal to Alex. Now same idea, but the this time the value is text, which is wrapped in quotes. Price, that is 19.99, is a decimal number, or you can say float. Then you have is underscore student is equal to true, a value that's either true or false. Okay. Now this pattern is always the same. You have variable name equals sign and a value. Okay. Now let's print these out to confirm they are stored correctly. Print age, yeah, print age, print name, print print name, print price, print is underscore student. Okay. Now let's run this file. Let's run this Python file. Okay. I think I haven't saved this file. Let me see. Yeah, I have done. Yeah, there's an autosave set over there. So Python variables underscore demo dot py. Okay, so here we have age 25, Alex 19.99, true. All four values exactly as we stored them. So this is variable assignment. This is variable assignment. Store a value once and reuse that name anywhere in your program. So mm, one more important detail. Okay, see, suppose you want to update a variable. So what are you going to do? Just assign a new value over here, 26, save it, run this Python file again, and let's see what it prints. Okay, now it prints 26. Here it was 25. So the variable is updated now. I've just assigned a new value to the same name, that is age, and Python overrides the old one, and the Python has overrides the old one. So this is variable assignment. Okay. Now let's move to the another topic over here, that is naming convention, that is snake case. Now that you can create variables, okay. Now that you can create variables, you know how the variables are created, right? You know how the variables are created. First underscore name, total underscore price. Okay. Now there is a strong convention almost every developer follows, and that is called snake case. Now question is, what is a snake case? What is a snake case? Snake case means all lowercase letters and words separated by underscores, and words separated by underscores. Lowercase letters, words separated by underscores. Not spaces. Not spaces. Okay. Not spaces. Okay. Let me. Okay. I'm going to discuss both the good names and bad names. We have to avoid these. So let me show you again live. Now let's talk about good snake case. First name is equal to, again, I would say Alex. Now this is a snake case over here. This is a snake case. Okay. Then we have total price is equal to 49.99. Okay. And then is underscore logged underscore in equals to true. Now these are good cases, good snake cases. And the ones that we have to avoid, as these are not snake cases. Okay. First name, Alex. Total price, again, is logged in true. Now, all of these six cases technically work in Python, and none of them will cause an error. Okay, let's do this, print first name and then print this one, first name. Okay, since the first name is not defined in the snake case, uh, no, I don't think so. That will raise any error, but let's see what it does. Uh, oh yeah, there's no error over here. First name is not defined. No, 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 no. We have already defined that, right? Yeah. Okay. Now the issue is that these top three, these top three follows Python's official style convention, while the bottom three don't. While the bottom three don't. Now, if you see this first name, this variable, okay, now this is in other language like C hash, you know, like C hash. Then this total price is again in another language. Sorry about that. That is camel case, common in JavaScript. And also this is logged in with no separation at all. This is just hard to read. Okay, this is just very much hard to read. Now, here's why this matters beyond just looking correct. The main important reason that I'm going to talk about. When you work on a team or contribute to open source Python projects, snake case is the expected standard. Code that doesn't follow it stands out immediately as either a beginner code or code written by someone unfamiliar with Python conventions. Now, when I talk about Python conventions, I mean PEP 8, which I'm going to cover in my upcoming sessions. These are Python's naming convention, and this is based on Python naming conventions. This one. Okay. Let me show you a few more naming rules regardless of style. Now, variable names can contain letters, numbers, and underscores, but they cannot start with a number and they cannot contain spaces. Let me give an example again. Second underscore place equals gold. Now, this will cause an error. This will cause an error. See, syntax error, invalid decimal literal. Now, this error, you know, Python tried to read second underscore place and got confused starting with a digit. Variable names always start with a letter or an underscore, never a number. Okay, never a number. Because if you do, Python will get confused as it is starting with a digit. Okay. Now let's get to another topic over here. We have done naming conventions. We have done variable assignment, naming conventions. Now let's get into reserved keywords. Reserved keywords. Now Python has set of reserved keywords. If, else, for, while, true, false, none, def, class, import. Okay. Python has a set of reserved keywords, which means you're not allowed to use them as variable names. Why? Why? Because these all have special meaning. Because these these yeah because these all have special meaning built into Python. So using them as a variable name would confuse the language entirely. Okay, let me show you a demo over here. Let's see what happens if we try. Let's say for is equal to 5. Okay, now let's run this Python variables underscore demo. And here we have a syntax error, that is invalid syntax. Okay, now Python sees for, so what exactly is happening over here? Python sees for and expects a loop, not a variable name. So it has no idea what we are trying to do. It has no idea what we are trying to do. Okay, do. So the question is, should we memorize this? We should know about this, that we shouldn't use them, you know? Well, the good news is you don't need to memorize the entire list of reserved keywords. Python can actually tell you the full list itself. Let me show you. We are going to import keyword. Then we are going to print keyword.kwlist. Okay, save it. Let me clear the screen. And here, this is a complete list straight from the Python itself. So if you are ever unsure whether a word is reserved, this is the fastest way to check. This is the fastest way to check. Okay. So this was all about reserved keywords, right? I hope you understand what I'm teaching over you here. Okay. The next topic on this is dynamic typing. Dynamic typing. Now, in some programming languages, when you create a variable, you have to declare upfront exactly what type of data it will hold, and it can never change. But Python doesn't work that way. Python, Python doesn't work that way. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying, this Python, it doesn't work that way. Okay. In Python, a variable can hold any type of data, and you can even change that type later without any special syntax. Okay, let me show you again. Suppose data is equal to 10. I print data and then I print type of data. Okay, to know what type of data it has stored. Now I'm running the Python file again. So we have 10 class int. That is meaning that means integer. So right now data holds number 10 and Python's type function confirms it that it is an integer. Now watch this. I'm changing this to hello, that is string. Again, print data and print type data. Let me save this and let me run this file again. Now we have hello class str, that is string. So same variable name data, but now it holds text hello. And this type confirms it now this type confirms that it's now a string class str. I don't have to tell Python this is changing types. I just reassigned it and Python adapted instantly. Now let's go even further. Let's change this to true. Let me copy this and let's change this to 3.14. Okay. Now I'm going to run this file all over again. So I have boolean and then I have float, same variable. So we have four completely different data types across this one short program. And Python handled every single change without complaint. This is what dynamic typing means. Python figures out the type of a variable automatically based on whatever value you assign it, and that type can change as your program runs. This is the big part of why Python feels so flexible and beginner friendly compares to languages that force you to lock in a type upfront. So, so what we have learned today, what we have learned today. Let's lock in what we have learned today. Four essential concepts that form the foundation of every Python program. Basically, it's not four, it's five. So, variable assignment. You create a variable using the assignment operator, a single equal to sign, a variable name on the left, value on the right. Okay. Then you come over here, that is called the convention, naming conventions. Invalid variable name, second place. No, 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 no. You start with a digit. This is something. Yeah. Here is the naming convention. All lowercase, words separated by underscores. That is snake case. The Python standard PEP8, which I'm going to discuss further in the upcoming sessions. Now, here, variable name can't start with a digit, second underscore place. This is correct, second underscore place, correct. But it can't start with this, second underscore place, because Python will get confused. Python also has reserved keywords, words like if, for, and true, that you never use as variable names. And you can check the full list anytime using this command, keyword.kwlist. And finally, Python uses dynamic typing, meaning a variable's type is determined automatically by whatever value it holds. If it is int, it will show you integer. If it is string, it will show you str class str like this str. And that type can change freely throughout your program. Now, now, I think I missed it. Okay, yeah. Now, your action step. What are you going to do? Or what you should do? You should now open a new file, create three variables using snake underscore case naming. Okay. And then reassign one of them at least twice with two different data types. Just like just like I did in the dynamic typing demo. Then print the type of that variable after each reassignment to confirm what's happening. Once you have that, you understand one of the core building blocks of every Python program you will ever write. In the next video, we will dive deeper into the print function. Sorry about that. In the next video, we are going to talk about the print function in more detail. So, see you there. And in the meantime, happy learning and do that practical that I have told you, so that it's ingrained in your mind. What do you need to do whenever this kind of whenever you need to go for the variables, or you want to go after the naming conventions, what you should use and what you shouldn't use, how to avoid these variables which are not at all variables. Okay, you should never use these as variables. Okay, thank you, bye bye.